Hello everyone, and me, because I will no doubt watch this again. Uh, yeah, land in the space, just getting myself, bringing myself here. Hmm. It's been one of those days. It's been quite busy, um, for me, quite busy. But I found over my kind of year or even more, I found like ways to help me connect more with where I'm at, and just doing things like that, like taking a moment to just land in the space and just feel yourself actually here. Um, that's quite a powerful thing to do, especially at the beginning of something. Just allowing yourself to arrive, like fully arrive. Any yogi, that's the dog's name. Any yoga enthusiasts out there would have probably come across the whole arriving, allowing your body to arrive. And I love it. I love that, because often we arrive in our mind into a space, but there's lots going on, lots to kind of, yeah, interact with on the outside, and obviously whatever's going on internally. And then where's the body? Where's the body left? And it's often forgotten, really, isn't it? So yeah, just wanted to take a moment and allow myself to arrive, which I feel like I have. I always find like more inventive ways of propping up my phone. I don't have like a proper setup by any means. Today I have decided to sit myself on my bed, and I've got the travel suitcase up in front of me, and on there I've propped my little camera. So yeah, it might just decide to fall, and yeah, just giving pre-warning, something might happen in this. But yeah, just being a bit playful with my whole setup at the moment, and that's the way things are sometimes, aren't they? Like, you don't have things figured out completely, but you find a way. And today I found a way with my suitcase, so that's good. Yeah, so I'm back in London. I've been on my travels. I've visited family members for a week and the little dog, and now I'm back in London. And yeah, the energy is different. I've noticed the day, I knew I had things planned during the day, and I've just, yeah, kind of gone from one thing to another thing to another thing. I normally do a bit of yoga in the morning. That's been like since a bit before lockdown. I started doing about half an hour of yoga, just following a video online. And there are obviously days when your plan doesn't go to plan, and you find a way to work around it. And instead of doing my session this morning, I ended up doing it just before sitting down and turning this on. But I'm really glad that I took that time to connect with my body. And it seems like that's kind of what's coming up for me at the moment, just this kind of allowing space for the body to have that connection. And I don't find it with the business side of things that much. Unless I'm working with someone or a client, I don't feel like I'm connecting with the body enough. It's actually like doing practices like yoga, going out for a walk, something that requires movement of the body and knowing that you're doing that with your body as well. So it's like it's having that full attention as well, that you're using your body for something. Yeah, like I find myself, I think if I'd made this video before I'd allowed myself that space to just be with my body, it would have been obviously a different kind of video. It would have probably, oh, there it goes. It probably would have been just, I think my brain probably still is feeling a bit kind of all over the place. But more so, I feel like when I allow myself space to do things like yoga, it just feels like I'm more connected to my inner being. I don't know if that makes sense. And I feel more at peace as well. Like, I feel a stillness at the moment, like just in my chest space. I'm just kind of noticing what's going on in there, and actually there's not a whole lot going on in there. There's a bit of like, I can feel like there's a bit of heaviness up here, and that's probably just because of the kind of day. The kind of day that I've had, but I do feel like I'm probably sounding a bit like I'm floating at the moment. I do feel like I'm kind of just on a bit of a cloud, which is obviously not a bad feeling. It's a nice way to start the day. Doesn't always happen. It's a nice way to kind of get myself, I find it sets me up for the rest of the day. But there's nothing wrong in doing it towards the end of the day, like whether it's yoga or another form of bodily activity that helps you connect with, because we're not just our minds, are we? Like, we do live there a lot of the time, but we're not just our minds. There's a lot more to us, our bodies, our energies, and that often gets overlooked. And that's kind of what my journey has been for like the last couple of years. It's noticing what else is going on and wanting to explore that further. And that has required guidance from others. I haven't really been able to do that myself. So when I decided to stop working, one of the first things that I found myself doing was reaching out to a life coach. Just drinking my tea, the thing that I bring with me. And I think today it's a hobnob, yeah, with a bit of chocolate on it. A bit naughty. And it's obviously going to taste a lot better if I dip it in the tea. Such a good combination. Yes, I do like dunking my biscuits in tea. I'm one of those. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah, as I was saying, like I decided to start working with a coach. I mean, even before that, I knew that I wanted to. I guess it wasn't necessarily building a connection with my body, but there was this interest around wanting to move my body. I've always loved dancing. Ever since I've been a little girl, it's just been this innate like desire in me to just get up and have a nice little kind of dance around, and I don't think about it too much either. I kind of just go with it. And most of the time I've got positive feedback, and that's kind of just validated. Yes, I can do this, I'm good at this, because I'm just trying to empathize with people who haven't necessarily had that and shy away from dancing because no one's ever told them. I just want to speak out to those people. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Just go for it. Just do whatever your body feels like doing. And if you don't, like with anything in life, if you're kind of like hesitant about, just going for it, because that can be a big leap, just have a go dancing around the house. Like, put your favourite music on and have a bit of a jig around. And, no one's watching. Who's going to judge you? The only person that's judging you is you. And that's a whole other kettle of fish. Maybe we will explore that another time. But yeah, like, just have a go in your own space. And I think that just kind of seals it sometimes, that it's not as bad as you think it is. And then when an opportunity arises, and like they do at the moment, there's not many weddings going on, maybe not so many get-togethers, social gatherings, but if the opportunity does arise, maybe it'll just be a little bit easier because you've just you've explored just moving your body. But yeah, like, something else that I've come across recently is something called authentic movement, and that's nothing to do with dancing. That's just allowing your body to move however, like there's no music, you're just given like space, and there's a certain time limit to it, but you just move however your body wants to move. There's no this way of doing it, no that way, no right, no wrong. You just give it a go. I know that there's proper sessions that run. I'm not sure if they're running at the moment. But yeah, like, I love that too, because that's just taking away the whole kind of social, construct of what dancing should look like. It's not about dancing, it's just about moving your body. Yeah, so yeah, just speaking to the people out there that are a little bit nervous about doing things like that, just maybe give that a go. But yeah, as I was saying about that kind of bodily connection, so dancing has been there for me, and then yoga came probably when I was at school, I think, maybe around the age of 16. I kind of just have vague memories of my mum and my sister doing yoga, and then I kind of went, what's this? They had a DVD and they used to do it at home, so I kind of just started by just joining them or did it on my own. Yeah, and then that interest just kind of increased as the years went on. But I know the thing with that practice has been, I've had a struggle with it. The struggle has been, and I'm sure so many people can relate to this out there, feeling like you need to be flexible, or feeling like your body needs to be able to do this and do that. And for so many years I felt like that. And then it's only really recently that I've kind of just let go of that kind of my own expectation, because yoga does not preach that. That's not a yogic approach to yoga by any means. But yeah, that's definitely something that an expectation that I've put on myself. And it's only recently that I've kind of gone, no, I'm just gonna do what feels good in my body, listen to it more, and yeah, be a lot more kinder to myself, and also like notice those things that come up, like feeling like I should be doing this with my body, or doing that, or that person over there on that mat is doing this, and why can't I do that? Like, the lesson there is like, I'm obviously looking outward and not enough inward, and I've taken that lesson away and made it a lot more inward. And it's amazing what comes from that when you do take that lesson, and you don't put so much expectation on yourself. So it's only in the last like four months, just the beginning of this year really, that I've become more regular. So I've been practicing every day for pretty much half an hour. And it's amazing, like, what regular practice does. And I'm not doing like really, fancy moves for yoga standards, but I am noticing the change in my body. Like, I've got really tight hamstrings, and that's always caused a problem in my glutes and up my back. And I've noticed since doing yoga, it's just on a regular basis, and specific like things around like the fact that I know I've got tight hamstrings, I'm noticing that kind of loosening, and my kind of, it's amazing like how when that happens, it's like an opening that's happening in your body, and then that opening, it bubbles up, doesn't it? It bubbles up through your body, and my mind feels like it's opening as well. Like, wow, I can move my body differently to a year ago, and it feels really good inside. And my mind is like, it's almost like I see my mind sometimes as the self-critic, like completely the self-critic and nothing else. And it's like my mind can't believe that, because this whole like issue with the hamstrings and glutes, it's been around for a very long time, and it's impacted like how I work as well, and needing to have a certain setup, and not being able to, like sometimes I get headaches that start from down here. But I've noticed definitely since I've stopped working, and since I've been moving my body a lot more, it's like things are starting to heal. Like physically, I'm starting to heal. One of the practices I do is about like a heart opening, and it's like that heart opening is also about me opening to the world, like feeling like I can physically as well as mentally and emotionally open that space and take that space up, not feel afraid, not feel ashamed or embarrassed. So I do think these things are interconnected. Like, the yoga isn't just for the body, it's for your mind, it's for your outlook. So anyone who's thinking, I'm not sure. You see those yoga bunnies doing their amazing poses and you're like, how will I ever manage to do that? Just, push it aside, give it a go, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, and see where that takes you. Yeah, so having done that work, and then also as I mentioned earlier, like the life coach, she helped me reach parts of my body, so actually talk to parts of my body that I shut down and just didn't think were, like a good part of me, like a part that belongs to me. Like it doesn't deserve a space because it's a negative part of me, so why am I even allowing it space? Let's just keep it as far away from me as possible. And like, just to give an example around that, I used to not really like the part of me that didn't know how to do things. So when I didn't know something or felt like inferior, that used to grate on me. Like, why don't I know this thing? I should know this thing. Everyone around me, like going back to the comparison part of me that comes out in yoga, or has done in the past, like that also shows up, or had shown up a lot more in my life before. And what she helped me do is just recognize that that's a part of me, that I feel this way, and it's okay. It's okay to feel that way, and actually that's not a bad part. So rather than put a label on it and go, don't like that part of you, Jaspreet, that's just really, why do you always feel like you need to know everything? Instead of like shut her down, or that part of me down, actually just accept that that's a part of who I am, and just love that part more, and with kindness and love, just tell that part of me that I appreciate everything that you've done for me so far, but actually I've got this. I don't need to know everything now. 70% is fine, doesn't need to be the 400%, and I'll be fine. So yeah, it's finding that space in your life to actually connect with, whether that's physically, whether that's mentally or emotionally, all these parts of us, of our bodies. I found that the more I've done that over the last few years, the more I've got to know myself and what I am, like what I'm about, and who I am, who I want to be going forward. Yeah. So, on that note, it's been lovely sharing, as always, about where I'm at. It's also lovely hearing where you're at, if you'd like to share about your own experiences of your, relationship with your body and what you're working on, or what you'd like to hear more of from me. Feel free to comment or ask questions below in the YouTube chat or wherever I'm posting this. Yeah, just I guess the the question I'd like to leave you with, and myself, because I will watch this back, is what can you do to help you connect and maintain a connection with your body? What can you do? How can you maintain it? It's so important. So, yeah. Have fun with that. Go and experiment and see what you find out. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week for another installment.